about 2 years, but then luckily it's panned out. Yeah, we got this. See, I'm enjoying these.
So the state of journalism is something I feel like I could talk to you about all day, and I'll start with this. Where should people get their news?
Everywhere. If you're not comparing and contrasting, you're getting one source. It's one of the reasons why one of my biggest things is I'm giving you the facts, I'm also giving you my opinion, but it needs to be a jumping off point. I don't want to do a blanket statement, right? I think that there are a lot of people trying their best that are maybe working at organizations that don't necessarily care about presenting the full story as much as presenting a narrative. Whether you're looking at mainstream in the sense of Fox News and CNN, all the way to a Breitbart to a Huffington Post. Whenever you sit down and read, it feels like someone's trying to make you think a thing.
If Facebook is suffering from fake news, what's YouTube's corollary? How are Facebook and YouTube different as information delivery systems in your opinion?
They're not really. Both places, the way they're set up in general, you're getting your news based off an algorithm, right? And it's a problem that YouTube was talking about recently with videos about conspiracy theories. The algorithm is trying to keep you on site. The algorithm favors you staying here rather than going somewhere else, especially a competitor. So if you are interested in this kind of content, and it might not be true, it might be sensational, it might be crazy, despite what Robert Kinsel says in an interview with Casey Neistat, the algorithm right now makes you want to stay there and feeds you more of that same content. So it's really, really important, once again, to go out of your way to try and get information everywhere, because if you're getting information based off of an algorithm, you're just gonna stay in your bubble. I'm gonna enjoy it while I come.
So with the Philip DeFranco Show, you're essentially publishing an op-ed daily on a number of topics, which is like tiptoeing your way through a cyberspace minefield. When you think about the times that you were totally at odds with the internet, what's the stance, the opinion that left you on an island?
I've talked about religion, I've talked about capital punishment, politics. The most hate I've ever received was way back. Metallica had there was like a lawsuit against one of their fans who had downloaded their music, and they were suing them. And that was the most outrageous, infuriating thing in the world to me. And I made this big rant, and a bunch of people were like, fuck you, they're amazing.
When you think back on all the times that you've maybe said something or reported news that upset another major YouTube power player, is there a story that stands out?
I don't get excited about the prospect of hurting someone's career or trying to ruin them, right? We're talking about the story. I want to think the best about someone, but I'm going to cover it fairly. As the industry gets bigger, we're going to see more stories like that, especially because we're talking about thousands and thousands of new creators that are getting millions of subscribers, a lot of which don't have proper teams around them, right? To tell them not to do something incredibly stupid, or once they do something incredibly stupid, what to do.
And then even too, in this particular space, sometimes you're incentivized to do something
100%.
stupid. And then the bar for stupid just keeps getting lower and lower, or higher and higher, depending on how you define it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with pranks. It was escalating normally, then people started faking pranks to the extreme. Then we saw people doing insane fake pranks, and then some people not realizing those were fake pranks, and then doing really serious, insane, illegal shit, and then getting arrested. When people talk shit about drama, I'm like, we've seen a worse side of YouTube. Let the YouTubers box each other. I don't care. I think that's really interesting, and no one's gonna throw a fake bomb at someone in public.
So this next one is the hot one, Sauce.
Okay. So I legally, based off of what I signed, have to say this is amazing. This is dope.
So you've discussed cryptocurrencies frequently on your show, and back in November tweeted, "The trick with Bitcoin is to only invest what could fully destroy you financially and emotionally." Where do you fall on cryptocurrency? Are you smashing the buy button, or are you running for the hills?
No. I'm personally of the same as the Mark Cuban belief, right? It's a new space. It's a crazy space. If you have a 10% that you can throw into a fire and not feel horrible about, I feel like that's the play. 2 years ago, right, it was known by people, but it wasn't known by everybody. When everyone went back last Thanksgiving and their grandma was asking them about cryptocurrency, that's when you know that everything's different, right? And then also when fucking grandma 2 days later starts giving you like HODL advice, then you're like, oh, okay, this is some crazy shit. I mean, you don't know in general what's gonna happen, and I never give advice, but I don't know, I'm excited anytime anyone's trying to disrupt the way things are. Told you, I'm hungry. It's got a little twist, or a ting.
It has some tang.
Something with a T.
It's got some wang to it. All right, Philly, do we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram, where we do a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context. So I'll bust out the laptop on a stool. Thank you very much, Steven.
This is dangerous.
And I'll show you the picture.
This is dangerous.
You tell me the bigger story. Does that sound good?
I've been on social media for too long, man.
First things first.
Look at that.
You say this is your first cheat meal in how long?
Like 5 days. So there, I was kind of okay. I'm at the beginning of it. We were looking at a different picture earlier today, and I was just like, oh my God. I've been throwing myself into videos so much, and I focus so much on one thing that the whole thing is something that I really haven't taken care of.
Listen, eye to eye on that. You know, when we traded those pictures back and forth on your show, I looked at that and I was like, what the fuck has YouTube done to me? Like, what have these wings done to me? Like, I can't outrun it, you know?
It ends up being good because probably without me seeing that footage, I would be completely complacent in my regular PDS camera angle where I look fine, but it really hides real life.
The idea of me eating wings and then the pressure of the internet, it honestly does keep me doing cardio 4 or 5 days a week because I don't ever want the meme to be a thing. I don't ever want people to say the wings caught up to Sean. Like, it actually is something that I think about in a very serious way.
The internet is not the nicest of places,
but
right?
That can be kind of a motivating thing.
A little bit, but it's also like, bullying's awesome. Bullying's great, right? In my head, I'm like, actually, everything good in my life I have because of like a big negative thing or like a bully in some aspect. But I was like, I also don't want that quote out of context where it's like, Philip DeFranco supports bullying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sean credits fat shaming for keeping his six-pack.
Cream korma. Oh, gluten-free, good. It's got a little ting.
So against my better judgment, I want to take a wing to talk about the political landscape in 2018. And I say that because the internet freaks the fuck out in the most obnoxious way, even during relatively light discussions.
Obviously, it can be very polarizing, especially when someone's on Facebook doing fucking all caps crazy opinion. But as long as you throw out the facts, this is what I personally think. What do you think? Some people will see it as as kind of like a gimme, like, I'm scared. But if we can't talk about things, we can't disagree about something and not fucking hate each other after. I mean, I don't know what we're trying to do.
What do you say to those critics?
The people sorry for not trying to fucking shove my opinion down someone's throat. Like, I don't know.
In what ways has the most recent election affected your show and the discourse surrounding it?
I feel like the election kind of revamped the show. It was, for a while, a thing that I stayed away from, right? It'd be the more lower viewed videos. You'd see kind of discourse, but people not really engaging. But the 2016 election, among other things, got a lot of people caring about politics and sharing their opinion more and more. So I have Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump to thank for my continued career. I feel like I can't talk shit until the next one.
Dance in the sun. It's okay, Philly.
I'm feeling myself. Okay.
As someone who's carved out a liminal space between mainstream media and internet culture, I'm curious on your perspective for what happens when the YouTube universe bubbles up. What confuses you? What amuses you? What infuriates you when, say, Logan Paul becomes an international headline?
For the reason that he became an international headline, originally, whether it be the suicide video, the tasing a rat after everything, the bragging after he came back from his week vacation with 1 million new subscribers, that shit pisses me off because I think that, unfortunately, he is the representative of YouTube to a good number of people. And unfortunately, that includes journalists who already had a negative opinion of YouTubers in the first place. There's this, a little bit. I got a little. It's a tingle now, it's not a ting.
And it also must be surreal when you become the subject. When that sort of thing happens, are you like, oh, hey, my message is getting out there, or do you see it getting muddled in the media meat grinder?
It depends on who's doing it, right? There are a lot of journalists who will take the story and they'll try and take any quote they can get from you so that you're saying some negative stuff about YouTube, despite what you're talking about is maybe diversification. I've had that done. But then I've seen more and more, whether it be full-on mainstream or blogs, taking people seriously. You can have differences of opinion, but it's really hard to argue the numbers.
All right, so this next one is the bomb.
All right. This is, I don't want it to put me in my place, man. I'm feeling so confident. Okay. Let's attack him.
It's got a real tingle.
All right.
Secure the objectives and defend them
It's
from
welcome.
enemy attacks.
Oh, it's made a home. Okay. For a second, I thought you were playing with me.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
That's good, man. That's good. I don't know why I'm looking like I have fucking electricity coming out of my fingers, but I like it. I like it.
Why are you obsessed with MTV's The Challenge?
Oh my god. I'm scared. I was talking shit. I don't back it up at all. I don't know why I'm looking like I have fucking electricity coming out of my fingers. Because they took the concept of Survivor, and they're like, what if the same people come back every year and they're just multi-season storylines? There's probably a cheaper way to pay for it. There's a lot of saliva came into play. I got this.
Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie or not a Christmas movie?
Yes, very stupid question. Because it is a constant argument between my wife and I. She is pure, it's not. Of course it is. Of course it is. It has everything in it.
As a UFC fan, what's your take on these YouTube personalities arranging boxing matches with each other?
Why not? I mean, if the KSI Logan Paul thing happened and it was UFC or you could take someone down to the ground, why do I know information about Logan Paul being a fucking wrestler?
If you were putting together a YouTube fight card, which two personalities would you want to see duke it out as the main event?
I think we'd all win if it was Jake Paul versus Logan Paul.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Ooh, and they get the other person's channel, it's over. It's a win-win.
All right, so this next one is Mad Dog 357 with number 9 plutonium.
Charlie has been secured.
Come on. Ugh. You're going the whole thing, right?
I'm going wherever you go, Philly.
That's good. Just let me know my. Got this.
So you can't do what you do without being comfortable with catching some internet shrapnel, and I'm sure that there are days where your Twitter mentions look like a
It's
war
in the
zone.
stomach, sorry.
Which special interest group considers Philly D public enemy number 1?
It's just the internet, and it's probably a problem that it's become so normal to me. The internet in general has normalized just extreme reactions, right? And I'm just like, oh, internet. Oh, internet. Did you drink milk?
Listen,
Why did you drink milk?
because I have nothing to prove, all right? Philly, you come in here, you get through it without some milk, your whole team's giving you high fives or whatever. Do this 108 times, all right? And then don't drink the milk, okay? And then raise the ante, all right? But let the record show, are you without water, without milk so
Yeah.
far?
I'm trying. Hey, here's the thing. After watching the Gabriel Iglesias episode, I watched the Dak Shepard episode.
Has anyone ever gone through and not drink anything?
It has happened a couple of times.
What's never happened on the show as far as the eating of the wings?
You want to set a record of some sort?
Well, you know, hey man, you got me out here and I feel like I can contribute something to this show and I want to leave a lasting impression and I just want to know what that is.
Dak Shepard brought out an extra wing one time on the last wing, but no one's ever brought out 2 extra wings on the last wing.
I feel like we should not have on a YouTube show a non-YouTube person have a YouTube record.
Wow.
So I would like, I shouldn't say this before I fucking taste it. I would like to try and beat his record. I would like to beat his record.
And I'd like to witness history.
Yes.
So this is the last dab. We call it the last dab because it's tradition around here to put a little extra on the last wing.
You got that 2-piece.
I just did. I threw a right and followed it up with an uppercut, but I'll stick with it. Oh, there you go. Going in, a mountain of dab.
You know.
You go, Philly D.
Yeah. Okay. See, I don't even mind that it's gonna burn my face off because it's more pleasant at first than the bomb. I don't know why I'm bouncing like that, sort of fucking cool off my stomach.
All right, Philly D, here we are at the final stage. 10 scorching hot chicken wings in your belly, not a drop of water or milk to chase it. But before we get you out of here, I just have one more question. I need a rant titled, Why I Hate Costco by Philip DeFranco.
No!
What is your beef with America's #1 warehouse store?
Oh my God, I've been outed as a Costco hater.
You're not the only one with a laptop full of secrets.
There's just a lot of people. And this is gonna make me sound like a big fucking elitist and whatever. I am an introvert. I feel uncomfortable around a lot of people, despite there being 15 people around us that are taking pictures right now, and me feeling normal in this situation because there's fucking lights for some reason. But when out in the real world, around thousands of people all at the same time, trying to get to the same thing as me, bad. I talk to the camera, I talk to the world, and then I want to chill with less than 10 people on a day-to-day basis. But also, I gotta say, the only times that I've ever really gone to Costco are on the weekend. So it's just, if you've been there, it's a fucking madhouse.
I know that Costco, it might freak you out, but you're not scared of some hot chicken wings. No water, no milk, let the record show. Repping hard for the YouTube crowd. And now,
We have extras. I don't mean to mess up your thing. I'm not looking for a championship belt.
Dom, he's
But-
doing it for the sport. You got some?
Yet 2.
He wants 2 extra wings.
Oh no.
Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like I should just 1 second. It's a little bit in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit in the face, but it's the stomach. But I'm gonna have to deal with it anyway.
Right.
So it's good. It's good. It's not.
Are you still feeling good?
Yeah.
Let's do 1 drum, 1 flat.
Okay.
Pick them out, Philly D.
But these don't have anything on them, right?
Nothing. You gotta dress them yourself.
All right. Sorry. I know that you don't want your show to be a competition, but this is just how I was built.
Listen, it's how you play with the wings. Sometimes
Also,
it says
come on,
more.
you can't have like a skinny guy have that record. That's not fair. You let me know when. What is that? Oh, how much?
It seems aggressive. I think that's good.
Okay, and then I'll let you.
Objective dog is no longer under our
I feel like
control.
that's.
We're good, Philly D. All right, for the people.
For the people. That's what I do.
What a showman. Philly D on his victory lap, clearing wings with the last dab, caked.
I'm American.
I feel almost guilty, but at the same time, not.
I know. This is good. Oh fuck.
Flying a little close to the sun.
But the sun tastes so good. I'm not crying. I'm just sweating from my eyes.
So impressive from this side of the table. And now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you, Philly D. This camera, or this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
If you want to watch news that is as unbiased as I can possibly try to make it, and then have an opinion to bounce off of, and then you want to have a conversation in the comments down below, go to youtube.com/Philip DeFranco. It's Philip with 1 L, not Philip with 2 L's. I don't know who that is.
Good job, Philly D. Good job, Philly D.
I am so gonna regret that. The thing is, the face is done. I've killed my taste buds long ago. It's the throat-stomach situation.
That's starting to catch up with you a little bit.
I love it. Thanks for
Did you have a
having me,
good
man.
time? Yeah. Love you, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? It's Sean Evans checking in. If you enjoyed the video,
We have control of objective Charlie.
Watch for that tank there!
We have taken control of objective George. Enemies present at objective Fox.
Just a moment. Enemy armor up ahead. Take this! Explosive charge ready! Talking to me! Throwing a grenade!